trying to log into my Ubisoft account so I can get credit for these. And playing around with these voices. But what's going on, guys? How you doing today? I'm just was messing around with some of the voices. Was trying to log in to the Ubisoft thing, but I got it open here on Twitch, so I'm probably gonna have to do that because it's not letting me log in this way. It's just a little bit ridiculous. Just a little bit crazy. But it should be doing the no, it's 12:30 or 11:30, or it's 2:30. So it's like 11:30 Western Pacific Standard Time, and it's 12:30 now. So they should be going on to the pre-show, and they're still doing this. And they're supposed to be doing Trackmania now. It's kind of disappointing. But oh, we can do some Trackmania. I don't know if they got the they had a thing that showed their,
well, obviously, thank you for having me.
Plan. Oh, here it
thanks
goes.
to the players for playing this
They're just a little late.
Thanks to all the closed alpha players we had because they help us truly to make this game better.
We can sit here
and we're pretty happy with what
they got new coming in
we have right now. So
to
yeah, just play Trackmania, it's
show.
free, and have fun on it. I'm pretty sure you'll have. And yeah, that's it.
All right, Omar, thank you so much.
With my giant face in the way.
Out now on Epic Game Store and Uplay. Go ahead and download
I'm too excited about Trackmania. It's not the type of game for me.
Now, our time with Trackmania is coming to a close.
Let's test out
on to the next show. Ubisoft Forward pre-show is starting momentarily. Recon Breakpoint, The Crew 2, Trials Rising, new stuff coming from all these games. You're not going to want to miss it. And then when the countdown timer hits 0, it's Ubisoft Forward, the big showcase of the latest and greatest upcoming games from Ubisoft, followed by an in-depth look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Just wanted to test the chat, make sure that's working, make sure my chat bot is working okay.
Let's go ahead and throw it over to Kat.
Oh, we got a trailer.
Thank you, Chris, and hello everyone, and welcome to the Ubisoft Forward pre-show. The main event will be starting in just 30 minutes and will feature news from our unreleased games, including Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Hyperscape, and more.
Now to warm up, we have 30 minutes of this from the games you're already playing, like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Trials Rising, and The Crew 2, as well as some exclusive behind the scenes so you can get to know us a little better. So let's kick off this pre-show with an update from Just Dance 2020.
Oh, I'm not on Twitch, I'm on YouTube. YouTube with the Ubisoft. Come hang out. Ubisoft. With me. We're gonna drive the synthwave into the world, into the ground. Oh, I'll be loading. Time to buffer. Some serious dancing. All this music just to get me demonetized. Maybe they're being nice and they're not. Siri, be quiet. Maybe they're being nice. I guess where else can I share this to? Share it to Facebook. Oh. Panda.
If you're a Just Dance fan and want to win some cool swag, head over to the Just Dance website for all the details.
Reddit,
for our next segment, we have something a little different than what we usually do. A few years ago, Ubisoft created the Ubisoft Entrepreneurs Lab and the Open Innovation Accelerator. This allowed us to create partnerships and synergies with indie studios from across the industry.
And since so many industry events were canceled this year, we wanted to showcase several indie projects and teams that Ubisoft has been collaborating with over the past few years.
Our first indie showcase is developer Machine and Mensch, who is working on the Curious Expedition 2. Let's hear more from the team behind the game.
Hi, my name is Masha and I'm a game designer at Machine Mensch. Machine Mensch is a small and diverse indie game studio with 8 wonderful employees based here in Berlin. Our connection with Ubisoft came through a program dedicated to create ever-growing relationships with independent developers.
All right, we should be all right. I don't know why it was
and share expertise and knowledge.
We work
together in mutual respect, which we much appreciated.
We're working on the Curious Expedition 2, which is the sequel to our expedition simulation game. This time, the game is set in Paris in 1899 during the World Expo when the Eiffel Tower was built. But more importantly, you will be traveling to these mysterious islands. You will be interacting with unknown tribes,
art style is very
fight
familiar.
dangerous beasts, find
like
many
I worked
secrets.
on a game jam that had this serious kind of
Thanks to our procedure technology, every time you play, it's a new world, new characters, and a new storyline that you shape with each of your interactions until it becomes really your own unique adventure.
A lizard man. That's interesting. Curious Expedition 2. Oh, my light.
And we will have more indie guests coming up later in the pre-show, so stick around. Now, a while ago, Ubisoft released its very first live-action TV show on Apple TV+, and it's a comedy about making video games called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. And to keep the show authentic, Ubisoft's Redstone Studio went above and beyond by creating a playable sandbox for the game that is actually featured in the show. So now let's head behind the scenes for an exclusive look.
This is the home of Clancy.
Okay. All my awards.
Why does it keep
front
buffering?
Of my office. It's entirely empty.
So Mythic Quest is Ubisoft's first live-action comedy. The whole show is about a team that is developing a super successful MMORPG, and it's about all the people within the game development team.
I thought it was a pretty good show.
Their relationships and what they go through in
I thought it was pretty
one of the world's
fun.
most successful games.
People kind of started ripping off in the beginning, but it wasn't really bad.
Sure that we're finished? When we heard about what was going on, we weren't really sure if we were a great fit because we've always made shooters realistic. And we listened to the pitch and we were super excited about the idea. So we thought, all right, what does Ubisoft have that we could channel to
Sunny in
fit this?
Philadelphia show.
You're fucking me.
We started watching a little bit. But
You're fucking me.
But I'm not enjoying it. It's for the game.
When we started on the project, I think we imagined we would just make video clips that would run on screens in the background or something, so it would feel like a real game studio. But once we saw the script, once we started collaborating with the team, we realized, oh, they want a game, like an actual game.
That's crazy. They actually had like a real game like that.
Years, so we started selecting the pieces that they really needed for certain scenes. And from there, it was not long before we said, what if we make this actually playable? What if we make it so
they're going to make an actual game
and control the characters? And so that's what we ended up doing.
The thing that I love most is the shuffle. Exploding people's heads with this thing is straight.
They actually made it a game for people to play.
Crunch, man.
We had requests to do things like make a contagious
viral disease,
I thought it was all
which kind of like
bleed
fake.
out of their eyeballs first, then they bleed out of their anus, then they vomit and bleed out of their anus at the same time.
We set it up in such a way that
it comes on the screen.
Trigger it in stages because we didn't know what the timing was going to be. The idea here is we can hit it and control the timing of when things are happening. So the next time you hit it, he starts puking out blood. And at this point, we would probably have the camera start panning back like this. And then you can hit the button again, and you can see the blood ocean itself has started coming in. And so now they're all bleeding out of the back end as well. And then the final is just everybody exploding in bloody gore. And then this was Keith's idea.
That's kind of smart. 3 stages.
He wanted the skulls coming up and bobbing up and down in the water. So.
David, can we actually make this quick? I've got a lot of work to do stripping blood ocean out of everything.
Yeah. Releasing a disease into the game right before a global pandemic was not a great look.
Today was the first time we showed Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet to an audience. I've never seen it with more than 6 or 7 people in a room. And so I wanted to make sure that we gave them an opportunity to hopefully recognize that this is a giant love letter to them, to the industry itself.
I was a little nervous, I gotta be honest. I thought it was gonna be a little cringy, but it was fantastic.
I thought there was a lot of truth and in the humor.
It's about time that we had a show about our industry.
You could tell when the audience was laughing, when they really hit something that felt like the game industry.
So it's good to see people enjoy it.
It's brilliant.
I like that. I like the dude that was poking fun at the monetization, that whole part right there, how monetization works.
The first season of Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet is available right now on Apple TV+, and a full version of this making of will be coming out over the next few days. All right, now it is time to fasten your seatbelts and start your engines as we head out to Lyon, France.
Is the camera light too dark? I can turn up the light.
At Ubisoft Ivory Tower to get an update on The Crew 2.
In the color.
Hi everyone, and welcome to The Crew 2 at Ubisoft Forward.
My name is James Reese. I'm a community developer here at Ivory Tower, and I'll be your host for this quick glimpse into all the exciting things we have going on over the next few weeks. It's been 6 major updates and hundreds of vehicles.
I don't know if you guys can see this on here, but it just keeps loading in on me.
Only went
the
live
live stream
a few days in Hollywood.
It's not
only
the
went
greatest,
live a few
and it
days
keeps
ago.
stuttering
Let's
back.
have a look.
Trying to go through the website. Might need to go through Twitch. There's like a whole minute ahead. Ooh, vanity items. We're gonna be watching this on Twitch. Special movie events. I never really got a chance to play the Crew 2 or the Crew 1. I think I played a little bit of it.
We can't wait for you to get your hands on what's
what I was
coming.
thinking of.
There have been a few speed bumps along the way, but over the past 2 years,
That might be the game that had the different states,
made the
I
Crew
think.
2 a motorsports playground.
I kind of like how they did with this, like what they did with like
and where anything
the
is
scenery
possible.
from Michigan.
So thank you.
It's
to
kind
the
of
Crew
funny that
social,
everything was so
exchange,
condensed.
Discord, Reddit, and all of our players.
But it was fun.
We've got
It was
a little
cool
something
seeing
for you in-game to show our appreciation.
landmarks that I
It's the
recognize.
67 Volkswagen Beetle. So let's see what kind of Hollywood twist you can put on it. That's it from me. There'll be more news dropping over summer, so keep your eyes peeled. Starting
Keep
with
your eyes peeled. That's the roadmap. Flashy 80s. Of course, you get the DeLorean. That's nice. If you could really make a car be like neon like that. Oh, not the T-Bird. What? What's that? Ferrari? That was a good Ferrari that everybody wanted back in the 80s. A Magnum PI. It should have been red.
In case you missed it, make sure to boot up the game right now to unlock the amazing 69 Volkswagen Beetle that was just shown in the video. And stay tuned in the near future for more info about Year 3 of the Crew 2. Our next video is from our second indie guest, Bossa Studios, who will be injecting a delirious dose of fun with Surgeon Simulator 2. Enjoy.
Surgeon Simulator 2 is Ubisoft? Wait, hold up.
Hi, I'm Nate from Bossa Studios, and I'm a senior game designer on the upcoming Surgeon Simulator 2.
Bossa
So at
Studios.
Bossa, we're always keen to share game development knowledge, and Ubisoft
So I
have
thought
been a fantastic
Surgeon Simulator
partner
2
with
already
us.
came out,
They deliver
but I
lectures
guess not.
on procedural content development and player science.
What?
And
It's supposed
in
to
turn, we
be
share the
multiplayer now?
ideation processes that we use to develop initial ideas into living, breathing games. Which
I don't
brings
think
me
it's
on
gonna
to
be as
Surgeon
crazy.
Simulator 2.
Surgeon Simulator
We've really
1 was
doubled
so
down on the
unique and
physics-based
different.
pandemonium that the series is notorious for. And we've pretty much expanded on every other aspect of the game as well. So this time around, you're no longer just a floating hand confined to the operating table. You're actually a full first-person surgeon with an entire medical facility to explore.
Full first, but look
And
at
in
the way your
addition to
body
the levels
moves.
that you'll find in story mode, you'll now be able to create your own unique levels and experiences using Bossa Labs creation mode. It's a really easy to use, intuitive set of tools that allows players to create either on their own or in
I don't know
online
about this one,
multiplayer
guys.
with up to 3 friends. Everything players create can then be uploaded and shared with the community, and here surgery really is just the tip of the iceberg.
Just how everybody's arms just out. That's
During
probably
our
the whole
closed
first person
alpha period,
experience. But
we've
it's
seen players
funny.
create all sorts of amazing stuff, from bowling alleys to space stations, pirate ships to horror-themed escape rooms.
That's
And this
pretty
is before
crazy.
the game is even released. So we absolutely cannot wait to see what players create when we launch the game this coming August.
That's one thing
And
that's
in fact,
always
if you
amazing to
pre-order Surgeon
me
Simulator
is
2,
how
you can receive exclusive closed beta access.
many creative people are out there just creating things in games.
So for those of you who are just joining us,
like
you are
the
watching the
skins that
pre-show,
they
and
use
Ubisoft
for, like,
Forward will start once the countdown on your screen reaches 0.
Forza
And make sure
with
you
just
log
like
into Uplay
shapes
to unlock
and they make
rewards
it
as
into
you
like a
watch the
full
main event.
painting. That's
But
amazing.
now our next segment is
Or
about
those
an
ones they used
Easter
to do
egg
in
in
Black
the
Ops.
Division 2. So let's go behind the scenes with the devs from
I
Ubisoft
say I was a
Studios
little jealous.
in
I
Malmo,
say I was a
Sweden
little
to
jealous.
find
So
out
this is,
more.
I look kind of yellow.
Running through collapsed
Need
buildings,
to change that
climbing over
color.
fallen debris, and encountering makeshift living spaces is common for players of the Division 2. Within its post-pandemic environment, many players have spotted something a bit more unusual, which has left them asking, What's up with all of these rubber ducks?
All right.
What's up with all of these rubber ducks?
That's why I'm like a minute behind.
So there's a thing in programming especially where you talk to a rubber duck. And it's a way to solve your problems. If you talk to a rubber duck and you just say things out
when
loud,
it switches over to the actual game, I'll switch over to...
decided to take this to another level. He used the rubber duck scaled up to like a very enormous scale and put it in the level just to remind him to do something. And it sat there for a while. And the rest of us kind of really loved this giant rubber duck sitting there for so long. We decided to put a little memorials to it across the world. What started off as little memorials, and then we started adding stories to them. So there's one where these two ducks are sitting on a bench having a date together, and there's another one somewhere where he's sitting with an umbrella hiding from the rain. The idea of the ducks is similar to the rest of our storytelling, where we're trying to add some hope into the world. Because you're coming in as a Division agent to try and save what you can and rebuild, but you need to know there's something there to save. So having bits of happiness lets you know, like, it's still worth saving for these.
I was playing in Division 1, and
one shrine in particular became a beloved fan favorite, showing up multiple times across YouTube and Reddit.
So, Karen,
I rode,
how was your day?
And then I
well, Luke,
fell through the map.
Productive.
So the origin story of Productive. One of our level designers made an amazing pun one day, and we decided to make a graffiti out of it and put it in the game, and it became like a duck shrine, and players started finding it and wondering where it came from.
We've been finding these rubber duckies all over the map. It says here on the wall in graffiti, productive, and there's a large rubber ducky, bigger than all the other ones we've found, and he's got bottles of booze all around him. Not only that, but he has a couple soldier duckies guarding a parrot in a cage. But there's more just like this in the Division 2.
And that's funny.
What's really great about our community is they come together. They find a common thing that they want to develop or find or get unlocked, and they just put time and effort into it.
We don't put them in easy to find places. So that means players are genuinely, hopefully enjoying just exploring the environment and finding all these little Easter eggs we've hidden around.
It's really
also
good.
Not the Easter eggs, just the main part of the game. And all
I'm so bad for not playing it.
Into it. I haven't found all of them. I don't know exactly how many there are, but they haven't found all of the ducks yet.
Encouraged by the community's response to the ducks, developers recently hid another secret in the game and made it the focal point of an all-new community challenge.
We actually put Tommy the Teddy Bear into the game. So Tommy the Teddy Bear is a trauma teddy mentioned in a lot of lore, but the bear itself actually was not in the game. With episode 3, we put a bunch of them into the world, actually opened up an Easter egg hunt for him specifically.
It's a nice little exciting moment when you kind of open Reddit and you see someone's found the thing that you kind of just snuck in under the radar and no one really knows about it. And some of the players are really
who's
clever.
The first person
there's some hard Easter eggs that some of the level designers and gameplay designers have put
Tommy
in.
the Teddy one,
and people managed to solve it with no help whatsoever.
Here.
Gamers are smart.
So now that you know, be on the lookout for both the ducks and teddy bears next time you boot up the Division 2. We now have our final indie guest, Thunder Lotus Games, who were the 2017 winner of the indie series that took place in Montreal. So let's find out more about the beautiful coziness of Spiritfarer in this next
I want to hear
video.
about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Hey everybody,
That's what I'm looking for.
I'm Rodrigue, marketeer at Thunder Lotus. We're an indie studio based out of Montreal, Canada, and makers of the games Jotun, Sundered, and our new game Spiritfarer, which is due out later this year. For the past 6 years, we've tried to make AAA quality games with a hand-drawn indie art.
I thought this was a
Hitting
good,
a quality standard consistently in game dev is a huge challenge. There's so much trial and error on the path, and during the Sundered production, we were lucky enough to have the Ubisoft Entrepreneurs Program in our corner to help us reach our goals. As co-winners of the Ubisoft Indie Series in 2017, we received not only generous funding, but also crucial mentorship and access to the Ubisoft testing facilities. So we're grateful to Ubisoft for their support and helping us make what would become our biggest success to date. We've taken that experience with us onto what is our most ambitious production yet, and that's Spiritfarer, which we're calling a cozy management game about dying. In Spiritfarer, you play Stella, the newly appointed ferry master to the deceased. And as Stella, you're going to build a boat, you're going to explore the world in search of spirit passengers seeking passage to the afterlife. You're going to spend relaxing quality time with them, you're going to create lasting memories, but ultimately, you're going to have to learn how to say goodbye to your cherished friends. It's a game that's near and dear to our hearts and something really special. We can't wait to share it with the world later this year. So look for it soon on PC, on cool. Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Game Pass. Thanks a lot, and cheers.
Xbox Game Pass. Nice.
It is time for an update on our favorite motorcycle platformer with the insanity, pain, and triumph we all know and we all love.
See what
Trials
chat's
Rising
saying.
came out last year, but I think the team from our Red Link studio in Helsinki has a little surprise coming to the game for the fans of the franchise. So let's take a look.
We got some... We're just saying Valhalla, can't log in, I can't log in.
Hi, we're here today to introduce you to an exciting new endurance challenge coming to Trials Rising.
So all I do is
to make sure that we
connect
respect
your
social
Twitch
distancing guidelines,
chat
Anki
to
and I decided
your Twitch account to the YouTube, like link them together, and you'll be all right. You don't have to worry about logging in to Ubisoft. Wait, what I'm looking at is like way different.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gigatrack.
All right, sorry. I was looking at something like way different. I was like, what is going on here?
Remake of the classic track from Trials Evolution, this is an all-new journey across the world of Trials Rising, in by far the longest track that we've ever put in a trial.
All right, so this actually looks pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm telling them that.
But I did not get the key to Trials Rising in there showing them.
Trials game. The Gigatrack will take you across many different environments.
I like that, the box.
The iconic.
I should do that with my stream and have like the box going around like I'm inside a box.
Yeah, I was just... Maybe you want to tell them.
The Gigatrack is like life. It starts and it ends and it's long. Depends how you enjoy it.
Man, it looks crazy.
And also one secret thing. 4 tells transfer to 1.
It's not like a game I would buy. You know?
Prepare for the ultimate test of Trials endurance. Gigatrack releases this Thursday, July 16th for the low price of...
What is he yelling?
You heard that right, riders. Gigatrack will be available for free to all Trials Rising players when it releases this Thursday.
Is Trials Rising free?
You heard that right. The Gigatrack is coming to the game.
Gigatrack is coming to the game, and it'll be the longest, most insane track in Trials history.
And it will be free for all Trials Rising players. Now for our last game update, the Ghost Recon Breakpoint team is ready to share some details on their upcoming updates. AI teammates are coming to the game. Let's have a look at the trailer.
The time has come. AI teammates are back in Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
I've not played. I played the beta.
They're going to be a game changer.
Available
at any point after you have reached Erewhon for the first time, Fury, Fix-It, and Vasily can be activated or dismissed at will. And from the beginning, you will be able to fully customize them.
There's something that Brian
this
is
customization
in from
includes all of the physical attributes, as well as gear, equipment, or even full costumes.
More AI.
Your teammates can be tweaked just as much as your main character. Just like Nomad, your teammates will adapt and react to the world of Aroa and its environments, and they will always follow your own behavior. If you decide to go stealth, they will equip silencers and crouch, or go prone when possible. But if you decide to go loud and open fire, they will stick by your side.
But why can't they decide to go quiet also?
You can issue different orders to your teammates through the order wheel. There are 4 different orders you can give to your teammates. You can tell them to regroup on your location, to hold their current position, to go to a specific location, and to open fire on nearby enemies. These orders can be given at any time, even through your binoculars and drone. Once they approach potential threats, the teammates will notify you and mark them automatically.
Got a hostile.
With a good look at your enemies, you will be able to set up a sync shot where each of your teammates picks a target. You can even link it to your 3 sync shot drones for a simultaneous 7-target takedown. The teammates have weapons equipped at all times, a versatile assault rifle to accommodate all situations, and a primary weapon that you will be able to fine-tune. Indeed, apart from mark upgrades and passive bonuses, the full gunsmith is accessible to your teammates, and their weapon of choice will have a direct effect on the battleground. Depending on the type of weapon they have equipped, the teammates will adapt their engagement distance and rate of fire.
I hope so.
From close distance shotgun wielding, all the way to long distance sniper shots. Of course, if you get taken down, your teammates' priority will be to try and rescue you.
They'll play without me?
They will first focus their fire on the surrounding enemies before getting to you. And they will expect the same from you, especially as you will be able to carry them to safety if the situation requires it. Finally, the teammates will also be your best allies in any vehicle, especially on the road and during high-stake pursuits. The teammates will be available for all solo Ghost Recon Breakpoint players on July 15th, and we cannot wait to see your reactions. We'll see you on the battlefield, Ghosts.
I hope they're good reactions, because people really be upset about stuff, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Ghosts. I'm Grace from the Ghost Recon team. As you've just seen, the AI teammates are finally landing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint with our next major update on July 15th. Alongside the AI teammates, this update comes with a ton of new content, including a gunsmith upgrade, new PvP content, quality of life updates, and more. You will be able to try it all during our next free weekend from July 16th to July 20th. But that's not all. We've got one last thing to show you. Enjoy, and we'll see you on Aroa, Ghosts.
To anyone listening, this is Haruhi Ito, speaking for the Outcasts.
All right, what is this?
We stand against Sentinel's illegal occupation of Aroa. We
Oh, there's a hashtag for it.
all of Aroa to join us. Separated, Sentinel wins.
225.
We cannot be defeated.
Slam, 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 slam. That's 2 minutes left on Twitch.
And now our very final video for this pre-show is another episode of our wow moments comparing the craziest and coolest clips from you, our players.
Chat's being stupid. They're saying log in, log in, log in. Spamming a login command doesn't work. They're spamming a login command. Holy crap.
I was gonna interrogate him. Oh, you can interrogate this guy though. Oh, okay.
Last stop standing.
This off Florida had the most COVID cases in any state in a single day. 15,300 COVID cases in a day. Man, that's insane. For honor, I'm missing like everything that's going on here on the show. It's like a minute. I'm just gonna switch over to Twitch as soon as that mug comes up.
So there's a line that people want me to yell.
59 seconds. Voice acting of Mazi.
But I can't usually do it because I'll freak out my neighbours. But as you can see, I'm at the Crash and Ocean Beach, and there's no one too close. So, reloading! Fuck, someone saw me. I gotta go.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint. What? That Rocksmith. You playing with her toes too? That's crazy. Wow, I'm jealous. Gave me chills. Am playing through the fire?
If you
to find
also have
toes.
amazing gameplay segments you captured from our games, spread the joy and submit them on the link displayed on your screen right now. All right, guys, it is time for us to wrap up this pre-show.
All right, I'm gonna go over to
Don't
Switch.
forget to stay tuned for our post-show featuring a deep dive into the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thanks a lot for watching this pre-show and enjoy Ubisoft Forward.
We're gonna switch over to Twitch.
Hi everyone, I'm Neelam Kumar, and I'm very excited to be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf.
Look at that Switch.
Today's show is all about getting up close and in depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
It's quick. It was smooth.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London and see what the hackers and people that left getting into.
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal suspected to have links with the terrorist group
Alright, this is Watch Dogs, not actual gameplay. I'm glad they're telling us this. Because it doesn't look like gameplay at all. It looks like a video.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner.
That's how it works. You don't speak out because you're not a foreigner.
Protesters, and I did not speak out
because I was not a protester.
Because I was not a protester.
Doom doom, chicka 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 doom doom. This is pretty intense. The camera shake is crazy. Turn this up a little bit so you guys can hear it.
Because I was not a journalist.
Yeah, we gotta be careful, man. This is how it's gonna be like now. Eventually it'll affect you.
Street artists. But I did not speak out. Because I am not a street artist.
Because he is not a street artist. That's cool. You don't know how you're gonna get out of there. Is this like somebody animate this, or is this like a movie? As it looks intense. If somebody animated it, it looks like somebody animated it. It's either way, it's crazy. The cinematography on this Watch Dogs Legion thing is crazy. I gotta say it. I gotta tweet it out.
And I realized that eventually they'd come for me, and there would be no one left to speak for me.
This Watch Dogs Legion trailer thing is insane.
Right, oh, nice. Where are we off to, sir?
It's fine. I'll show you the way.
Okay, sorry, miss. Jesus! All right, so we're in a total mess now, so let's get the hell out of here.
Doom doom, chicka 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 doom doom, chicka 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 doom doom, chicka 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 chicka. Sound effects are good.
After a long night, London is in chaos. The main arteries through the city are blocked.
This camera angles are using a while.
Well, well. Welcome to the Resistance. Here's a welcome gift for our new members. You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
His nose is weird.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents.
What is up with his nose? He didn't have no nostrils. He just had like squiggly lines for his nose.
I'm Clint Hawking.
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
The city needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile people that are interesting to you, you help them with their problem, you play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a DedSec
problem. I didn't know it was...
Leave it to us.
And that's how you recruit them into your team, and then they become the heroes of the game
Not for the
and the
Holocaust.
stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You're done.
And they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're, heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say, take care of yourselves, stay safe.
I was trying to see who stepped down.
Resistance.
Our London town. A modern metropolis. Built on history and prosperity. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
Oh my God. Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
You still Watch Dogs Legion?
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion.
Albion Online?
He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Not even myself jeopardize this.
Yeah, words were off a little bit.
But nothing to permanently control the city.
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
That smile.
Not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Spread the word.
Ooh.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to
the dark web.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I? You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team.
That's one thing that got everybody interested about it.
Her. Or even her. Everyone can become your next secret weapon.
Granny.
In our first mission, we need to get some dirt on Nigel Cass, and that means breaking into Albion headquarters inside the Tower of London.
So hopefully this is what the game looks like, because Ubisoft has a habit of not. Hey,
they all have unique abilities, and
it
you're
was
free to
a
tackle
Kingsman.
this mission with whoever you like.
Dear God, my eyes.
Eggy.
Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Oh.
Everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But
like
as a
everyone.
construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy.
Can you get hit by your own car?
He can even call his own cargo drone. Perfect for gate crashing, when you're not invited. And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
Oh, dang. Is this like legit gameplay? There's no like UI or whatever, but sometimes they just take it off.
Perhaps we could approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
Amy.
What have we here?
A real tech connoisseur.
Hate spiders, but love this one.
She needs to.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
This is what I think is like. You have people that are different classes,
This little darling is fast
but
and stealthy.
it seems like essentially they'll all be able to do the same things.
I'm reading incoming drones.
So hopefully, like, the weapons and personalities stand out.
She can also hack enemy
I feel like all the
guns,
construction workers will be the
turning
same.
in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job done.
And Keanu Reeves.
Recruiting an Albion officer like Brielle here might be challenging, but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing
So how do you recruit people?
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the defense minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must.
If you feel you must. Oh.
Criminals running our streets. Illegals threatening our families. The police commissioner himself. Assassinated by terrorists.
Oh,
That
dang.
seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey.
Of course his name is
lives
Mickey.
for his team.
That put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
Poor guy on the street just standing there, got punched in the face. So let's see. So there was a UI there. I saw LB disrupt.
And he's passed out.
Same with the Xbox controller.
We'll come back to him. You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional.
John Wick.
It's almost crass to call
He
him
with
a
the same shirt on. The John Wick movements kicked him in the knee, neck.
Some might even call him an artist.
An artist. Even the same head movements and stuff when he's running through stuff.
Here's the
Yep.
bastard responsible.
Oh.
Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so.
Well, I was kind of worried about this game, but actually it looks kind of fun.
Everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super spy, but everyone can be a hero.
This is another super spy person doing the same movements.
So get out there, find the best recruits, and
It's just
build
elbow.
your resistance. It's time to take back London.
So it's like classes, and all the classes will play the same. Just hopefully their personalities will shine through.
Plunging the player into a
That's what it seems
living,
like.
breathing city teeming with unique locales and characters has always been a central pillar of the Watch Dogs series.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
My name's Amanda Munt.
Step now.
I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job in video games because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict. And we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to. I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. in
Easter eggs.
AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats. And then it happened again in Watch Dogs 2. And there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity. So I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year.
You wouldn't think that was an Easter egg.
Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they'd go, "Oh my God, this feels like Camden. This, you know, this feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster." When people are talking about some detail that
always like when they
the world and they're excited
make
about it, like that feels
the
so good.
world like the real world.
Builds these worlds with care. I love
If
it.
you've been there, it's like amazing to see it in game form.
And now some news for Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends on iOS and Android devices.
Ooh, what you say? Ooh, that you only meant well.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
I've not played Brawlhalla. I think I have it, but I've never played it. What's going on, Isla? Bro, can't type of shit. How you doing, man? Been watching some of this so far. That Watch Dogs looks pretty cool. Never played Brawlhalla though. Thought this was a dead IP. I think I know people that play it. At least they act like they play it. But I've never played it myself.
Whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go, or want to dive back into one of the most beloved fantasy franchises in gaming,
I didn't change this on to what's it called? Low latency. It's on normal latency. So I don't know what it's like on the thing. Might and Magic EOC, the card game. It does. I just popped in. Yeah, hopefully it's not like too much of a delay. But for the latency part, if it is, I'll just try low latency the next time I log on, next time I stream. Join the battle. I need more like Magic games that aren't card games. Everything got to be a card game, a mobile game, a mobile card game, or something.
The target is being held on the ground floor.
You can leave the card game behind. They're not even, I want to be like they're easy to make, but they're not even, they're very time consuming to make as you build it. What is this? Elite Squad? Explosion.
Contact! Monk chain is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop.
Roger.
Arch, don't you have a sniper rifle?
I need an EMP deployed now.
Why don't you just snipe him? Have to blow him up.
Get back in your cell.
They said they put the Splinter Cell headset on everybody. This is the second time I've seen this. It was another game, the Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You can put on the Splinter Cell as a bad guy in Tom Clancy's Violence. That's also a Ubisoft game. Of course, you already know that. It's interesting that they're reusing these models, because in Breakpoint they talk about the AI. They're adding AI, and they showed the same
and the community
eye
has
thing.
never been stronger. In celebration of this milestone,
Headset
Ubisoft
as a
Montreal
skin you can put on the
together a
AI
special
bots.
video to thank all of the amazing players and developers that have helped Siege become the game it is today.
In December 2015, a small team
I've been wanting to get into
Rainbow
this,
Six Siege,
but like I feel like I'm so far behind on playing it
a
that
game built on a
I just want to
strong
jump into the
vision,
game and be like really bad.
creativity, competitiveness.
Everybody's so competitive in games like this. I definitely have, watching it, I have no idea what's going on or what I'll be doing, so I'm like, I'll just have to pass on this one.
That original vision was quickly adopted by our passionate community, propelling it to a
Talk
whole
about
new
laziness.
level.
Yeah, I wonder how much more extra things we'll see. You noticed in the Ubisoft Watch Dogs Legion, they talk about all these classes or all these characters you'll be able to play, but it looks like it's broken down into just classes, and that all the characters will probably play the same if they're a certain class or was it archetype? There's like the assassin who pretty much moves and looks like John Wick.
All those aspects
Like all of his movements and attacks, and they showed a John Wick looking assassin, and they showed like a regular person as assassin. They had the same moveset, so I think it's more class based. I'm hoping that the characters are driven by their personalities to actually separate them from having the same moves.
Expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time.
Because I can get dull real quick, like, oh, guess I'll just find another assassin. I lost that assassin. Do the same moves over again.
Tous les succès, c'est vraiment le résultat de autant de nous que de vous.
EDM rules the world now.
Le vôtre qu'il est le nôtre, nous, l'équipe de développement.
Now 60 million players strong.
60 million players.
We're just getting started. From the devs that build the game to the community that plays it, thank you.
They are giving up the illusion of so many people, but in fact there are 8 characters. There's 8 classes. I've only seen like the 4.
If you haven't tried
like
it yet,
a
dive
tech
into our
person,
new Operation Steel Wave update
and then
available now, and take Ace and Malusi
like an engineer, an assassin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to
Maybe
a
more than
brand
4.
new multiplayer shooter.
It's probably like a stealthy person
Now,
and like a
it's
brawler.
time to venture
But
into
yeah,
the
they're making it seem like everybody is it's like you're gonna have so many different styles of playthrough or something like that. Maybe if they have like level ups and they get like a skill tree, maybe. Did you play this game, Hyperscape? It's just the P and the C around this hyperspace.
That's not supposed to be there.
I just threw out a number.
Let me get you all up to speed, okay?
It might be accurate.
About 30 years ago, everything that we feared about our future started to come true. We made some good decisions.
Or now
We made
press
some bad decisions.
buy.
Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions.
Why would you put VR? Oh, VR glasses on cows so they can eat
10
virtual
billion
grass.
souls living in the crush of the megacities. But the people at Prisma changed everything.
It's alright. People enjoyed it, I guess.
Everyone a way out.
Kind of sucked at it.
The Hyperscape.
I'm not too huge on the verticality of it, but I hope that what they do with this game, Hyperscape, is that they're talking about the company that made Hyperscape as like this is like a part of that world. So I hope they expand on this world that Hyperscape is based in and make more things around it instead of just this battle royale. And maybe have a story-based game about it or something, or RPG, or it'll probably just be open world. But the big thing about this is the verticality of it.
If you get good at Crown Rush, it can change your life. But strange things have been happening lately. Rumors of people getting hurt. Users disappearing from the real world.
So it has like a story. It's not just a battle royale game.
Lies at the heart of Hyperscape. And we have to find it. Some of us are searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others, a new way altogether. That's what brings us to the edge of the future. To the hyperscape.
What you're doing out here is 99 players, but you have like a bunch of characters that are the same ones.
And multiple Prince of Persia titles has established him
Take
as
99
a
unique different people. Make it create a character for your battle royale.
Is, we started building it from scratch, seeing it grow, adding ideas is really cool.
Hello, contender. Welcome to the hyperscape.
The game takes place in 2054. It's in a future where humanity has
not that far in the future.
Darker. One of the companies there, they are launching what's called the hyperscape, which is a virtual world and the internet of the future. It's the place where everything converges. Within the virtual world,
it's the Oasis
there is a battle royale that takes
Ready
place
Player
in the
One
virtual
story.
City of Neo Arcadia.
But maybe it's more sort of online because I don't think they have
we also introduce a lot of new things.
Movement suits.
You get the opportunity to do parkour on the rooftops, to go into interiors where it's much more narrow, much more stressful. You get.
I like the guns though. I like that they're actually unique guns.
Opportunities to get cool items, but also more players.
And how you summon them like out of the. It's pretty cool. How you bring the guns in.
Introduce the notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on the fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks, you can do things like teleport yourself, you can wrap yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield. So a lot of abilities.
Somebody grabbed the crown and bounced themselves out of the map and won the match that way. They found a little bug. It was a technical test though when they showed it.
So all the viewers will be able to interact with the game on different levels through the Twitch extension. So every few minutes, there's going to be a vote, and viewers will be able to decide what.
What's cool about this is like the vote isn't just on one Twitch channel; it's actually across all of Twitch. Like whoever's watching the game, the vote's calculated through everybody.
All kinds of stuff that is happening.
So nobody's really getting an advantage.
It's really exciting.
They have like huge numbers, I guess.
We're launching the open beta, and so it's going to be available
like
for free to play for all PC players worldwide.
The other game,
thank all the players,
Darwin's,
all the streamers, and all the viewers who
Darwin's
participated in tech test and who will participate
Darwin's
in the
game,
open beta.
whatever the name of that was. It was just on that channel. That stuff happened, but in this one is like across all of Twitch where the votes count.
Watch and learn how it's done.
Like that's cool how you put the guns in. You like summon them.
That's mine. Let's show them what I'm made.
It's just too much going on.
Go time. Watch closely.
This one you definitely have to play with like a team. Free battle pass. Play the open beta now. So you can communicate with each other or have a mic. They don't have solo.
The digital world of the hyperscape gave our artists and developers incredible freedom when it came to designing.
I was trying to see who.
Production manager Anna Maria Musca is going to take us behind the scenes of character
Like some
design.
Ubisoft people stepped down. I was trying to see who it was.
My name is Anna Maria Musca. I'm the production manager for characters and weapons on Hyperscape. We have paid an exceptional amount of detail to our characters. We switch different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different materials until we see them as real individuals, as real people. So the second you pick a character, you see them in game, you understand what their motivations are and what drives them and what challenges them.
Ubisoft Vice President Maximum Beland.
Lineup of characters. This is our default base, but even starting from the hair down, everything has been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we
I like
put on
Valorant.
them?
I play the
like to be in this box.
I just play the Spike Rush mode though because the other modes are too long.
Characters. So we're hoping
I haven't really messed around with competitive or anything like that.
See the effort and
Or the
maybe even
remote.
correlate some of the accessories to what's going to happen in the game.
It's pretty good. You can. I changed the
We're very excited.
I put
to see
on
it in
the
people's
accessibility feature, so like the other enemy are like a little bit of purplish color, I guess.
As we move
so they
into the
stand out
next
more.
generation of gaming, Ubisoft has been working
I like
closely
it.
with
I like
console
it.
makers
I like its
to take
cleanness.
advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer from Xbox.
Phil Spencer
With
from
Watch Dogs
Xbox.
Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery.
Everything's gonna have
So
smart
you will
delivery
get
on
the
Xbox.
Absolute best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're
Phil
playing.
Spencer looks like he's asleep.
On Series X, you'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version.
You're talking
of
about
London
our broken
like
wallet.
you've
I'm gonna
never
wait until the new AMD
Ubisoft
cards
has
come
a
out and try to get one of
unique
those.
ability to create
Or
immersive
I think they should have the ray tracing in
setting
those,
a new bar that continues to drive
and it'll be
our
at an
industry
affordable
forward.
cost.
I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I can't wait for you to see the gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming up now.
So I missed a lot of Assassin's Creed, but I'll definitely jump into Valhalla because I like the whole Norse mythology, right?
Dive into the world of Vikings.
Tie as shit.
My name is Julien Laferrière, and I'm the producer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So a couple of weeks ago, we announced Assassin's Creed
Barely awake.
Valhalla, and the reaction from the fans was just
I like the whole Norse mythology
The
and stuff like
time period
that.
of
I need to
Vikings
finish God of
is
War.
Really, really
actually.
inspiring. When we did our research, we found that, they were not mindless barbarians. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really human motivations.
They're just trying to find new lands for them to settle. Skip all of the barbaric things that they did.
And kind of separate ourselves from the myths and the folklore is really something that drove us to make this game.
I mean, of course they had families and
to take the same roads that the Vikings
they're
did,
cool
to really
at the same time.
experience what
You
it
know,
meant to
soldiers
be a
were
Viking
soldiers.
at that time. And then leaving Norway, which is barren but majestic, and just coming by boat in England and see those rolling green hills full of sheep, full of life, is just this moment that
Kind of brownish
most
hills.
likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity. And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game.
Let's give me some good visuals.
Adventure. It is the story
They were
of Eivor,
conquerors,
a Viking
right.
chieftain.
Yeah, they had
Eivor
families
is,
and they cared about their
either male or
families and their
female.
tribes
You
and their
decide when
people
you
and their
start the game.
clans.
They will have
They had
to leave
feelings. They were
Norway to settle
human,
in England
but the
because
bottom line
you
is
just can't live in
they
Norway
weren't just
anymore.
like going to
There's too much
people's
political
islands like, hey,
pressure,
can we
no resources
have some
available.
land over here? They were actually going and taking over land. They were just
Obviously,
farmers looking for land.
It's full of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and
You
they
know,
don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there to
Just
kind
came
of
in trying to
build
ask a
your
question
own
like,
settlement and see your clan
how much would it cost to buy some land here?
Vikings were brutal warriors.
Now they're brutal warriors.
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system.
Were they just simple farmers?
To leverage the brutality and the intensity of Viking combat.
This is from the trailer that we
Vikings
saw.
were not only
I hope they show
fighting
some gameplay.
face-to-face, They were masters.
This is the
of
time they need to
stealth
show
and
gameplay.
deception when needed. They used basically any
Right,
sort of
yeah,
tactics they could
for
use
sure.
to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings.
Especially back in these times. Everybody was trying to explore the world and take over, expand their colony, expand
We are
their
very happy
nationality
finally
or whatever
to
you want to
show
say it
the
is.
game we're all been working on. So please enjoy this deep dive into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
All right, in-game footage. Here we go.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you will relive the epic saga of the Viking invasion of England You play as Eivor.
On YouTube, this is probably in H4K or something.
Battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal.
So you can set your character. I think you can create your character. It can be like female or male,
It is time we go a Viking.
if I'm not mistaken.
Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches. As you prowl England's rivers,
All right, let's see what we got.
You may raid locations you spot from the shoreline. Ground your ship.
I gotta check the water off.
To lead your raiding crew into battle.
That's not a stun attack. They died. That's cool. It's not. It's definitely not a typical. Oh, I unplugged my
assist you in all your raids.
Controller.
Fighting enemies.
That's a typical Assassin's Creed look right now.
And stealing cargo too heavy for one set of arms. Whatever riches and resources you
Just like
may be used to develop your settlement.
What's her name?
Giving you access to useful services, better tools
from Horizon.
At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map.
Aloy.
It will serve as a record of the allies you have made and a guide for future opportunities.
Parma's
The
done.
Viking Age was a time of warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game.
Oh, took an arrow to the knee. He used to be an adventurer.
Some will coordinate with their allies for special attacks.
Oh, dang.
While others
You
will
should
use
be
nearby
dead. You just got
objects to
gutted.
their advantage, including the bodies of fallen warriors.
Oh, dang.
To face these attacks, you must find and exploit your opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand.
That?
Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat abilities. Snare them with a Viking harpoon. Pummel them with throwing axes.
Yeah, Aloy.
Incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance.
Stun attack.
Or finish them off. Dual wield any two weapons you wish to unleash a deadly
I
combination.
can dual wield hammers? What?
Customize your fighting style
No,
as
dual wield hammers. That's all you need to do.
Become a legendary Viking warrior.
Dual hammers.
All combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including 2 shields.
2 shields? Never mind, 2 shields. So we doing it. Holy crap.
Not all situations call for violence.
Still time.
In this new land, a Viking must find a way to adapt. As Eivor is not welcome in England, you may need to outsmart your enemies.
Like, hey, you like you have Viking coat on, that pelt.
Cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds. And
You look
slip
pretty
past
Viking in your
watchful eyes.
clothes.
An unseen hunter among the people. From capital cities and villages to the dense forests and rolling hills of England, exploration is vital to keeping yourself sharp. You must feed off the land if you hope to endure.
So is that a survival game too?
To replenish your health and fortify your equipment.
Thought the same thing. I think everybody thought the same thing at that moment. Ooh.
Search pagan
That poor
temples
wolf.
and Roman ruins for new activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement.
Not the visual challenges.
The more you explore,
doggone
the more of England's secrets
freaking Hellblade stuff.
Ravens, show no mercy.
But
Nah,
as you push
say.
deeper into England, the enemy will push back.
This is a lot of
In a series
gameplay.
of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded
Release date
Saxon
2?
fortresses.
Today we will reclaim her. Today we fight for your land. And tomorrow we rebuild.
For Istanbul.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will transport
Wow.
you to wondrous and haunted lands.
That looks pretty
inspired
crazy.
By Norse myths and England's pagan roots.
I guess they did capture that feeling of the landscapes.
With unforgettable characters.
Littlefinger.
Triumphs and tragic losses.
One day they'll get teeth right.
The chance to live your own Viking saga.
That's not in game. It's nice to hate with the female in this trailer. Remember the first trailer was a guy. No release date? We know it comes out this year. November 17th. This would be like the same day that Xbox comes out, I swear.
Unlike anything
Xbox is going to come out November 16th.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series
and
X,
PS4,
PlayStation
or
5,
PS5 to be out that same time.
PS4, PC, and Stadia.
PC5, PS5 is also going to be on November 16th.
Is here to share a
That's
few
my-
words.
Any animal companions? They didn't say.
I hope you will have enjoyed
Maybe a hawk.
what you have seen today, and that you will love playing these games. I'm proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games. And we haven't shown you everything yet. In fact, we have a lot more to come. So you will have another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games.
Is it?
But before ending this show, we have one more
We
thing
end the
to
show
share
now?
with you.
Better be Beyond Good and Evil 2. Because everybody's waiting for Beyond Good and Evil 2. My birthday will be lit. Got too much stuff coming out, man. You got the Cyberpunk, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, all the new systems, Halo. What is this? This is not Beyond Good and Evil 2. Like some TV show? Tropico? Did they make Tropico? The new Far Cry game. My birthday will be lit. New Far Cry game. Maybe it's a new Far Cry game. What's going on, Dom? So much stuff to buy in November. Just glad I have enough money set aside. Far Cry 6. That's what I'm thinking. Far Cry 6. Yeah. That's what it be. That's what you wanted to show? You didn't want to show Beyond Good and Evil 2 though? Are they making Beyond Good and Evil 2? I think they are. Beyond Good and Evil 2. You didn't want to show Gods and Monsters? It said one more thing, but this should last an hour, right?
Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, dear.
No Gods and
Give me
Monsters.
your hands.
No Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Papa. Now, the grenade.
Some good animation here though.
It has 4 basic parts: the shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse.
I gotta get a new
handle,
video card for the computer.
the pin.
I gotta get a new capture card. Gotta get some new monitors. At least one. I need to hit jackpot.
Simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go.
Got off work minutes before this started. Oh, just made it. And then you're gonna hit the. Then you're gonna crash right after it's done, huh? Oh, that swallow.
Now.
ASMR swallow.
I am El
You
Presidente.
saw the trailer for
Which means that
Far Cry 6 earlier today.
you will be El Presidente.
That's weird.
And our people
Definitely shouldn't have been where they showed this at then.
They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves, they will hate you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong.
Ooh. We'll play Final Fantasy VII. I'm on chapter 15.
They will answer you.
I'm like on chapter 3 still. I haven't been playing it.
Evil.
I need to get back into it. There's so much stuff, man. So much stuff to do.
And give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? Are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has
These teeth are really good.
our people. And you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom.
I mean, it's a very good way to describe a bad lesson.
You understand now? Bullet.
Oh, that boy. Oh, that finger animation. It's good stuff. Finger detail. People think the kid is the villain of Far Cry 3. Fat Cry. It's like the parody of Far Cry 3, Fat Cry 3.
And with that, we're wrapping up our first Ubisoft Forward.
Boo.
Today, we've seen the next generation of Assassin's Creed,
2/18/21.
the birth of a resistance in Watch Dogs Legion.
Not
The
sold on Watch Dogs
cyber chaos
Legion.
of
I was for a little bit, but the more I thought about it, I'm not sold on Watch Dogs
Far Cry's
Legion.
newest installment, along with so
I've
much
played
more.
0 Far Cry games.
We'll be back
I played the demo of the
later
first
this
Far
year
Cry,
with
but I've
another
never played,
Ubisoft
like,
Forward
I never
filled
really
with
just played
tons of
Far
game
Cry.
news and updates.
Thanks for joining us.
I've just heard, you know, how good they are and how crazy the stories are and stuff like that. But, oh, I should get to see some more stuff.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show. My name is Yusuf McGeed, and this
The
is
post show.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to take a deep dive into about 30 minutes of gameplay, and we're joined by a very special guest.
30 minutes of gameplay.
Hey everyone, this is Philippe Bergeron, otherwise known as Fizz. I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
So Fizz, we're setting up here for what looks like an epic encounter. Tell us exactly what's
I didn't know it was
going
going to keep going. Oh,
yeah,
snap.
So here we're midway through the quest that we're showing for UB Forward. Here we're looking at the assault
They showed,
of Berg Castle. So these are big moments
there was like
that usually sort of culminate at the end of the
breakdown.
story.
Let me see if I can find it.
Eivor, or Viking Raider, is taking a group
Ford.
of raiders and Furds into Berg Castle to go take down Ruid and his
should have been like a...
So who exactly is Ruid, and why does Eivor sort of...
Oh, that's awesome. If you were able to log in, they're giving rewards to everybody.
About halfway through this story arc.
As they count, because they can never get the login working.
This is something that
That's pretty nice
Ruid
of them to do
basically
that.
caused a lot of turmoil within the territory.
People that didn't watch it are going to get it.
Sort of elderman to inherit this territory needs your help to take him down. Oswald having just been defeated in a previous quest, and so here this is
Assassin's Creed Valhalla
revenge,
does
but
look
also
amazing.
accomplishing your ultimate goal.
So Fizz, as you're talking, we're seeing some of the combat of Valhalla. Can you
I
tell us
like
a
how
little bit
different
about
it
the
is
changes
from
to
an
combat this
Assassin's
time
Creed game
We wanted to
that I
basically add
remember. The last one I played was Syndicate.
to it. So we
So
added like some dual
I feel
wielding
like
for
a
the
lot
player,
of the
with
mechanics and
stun
everything is
system
like a
in
lot
there.
different.
And we really needed to do this to sort of portray that sort of the brutality that
A lot
comes
of
with
the
being a Viking.
systems, like
This
you're
actually
actually
sort of
going
fits
in with a
in
crew,
the
you're going in with your
and the character.
army. That dual shield though.
Oswald, he lives.
Not for much longer.
Oswald lives!
Eivor, is that you? Shut your ass, twig spine.
Here, Eivor has taken her entire army through the assault, and finally, it's revealed that our Elderman, our ally, Oswald, is still alive, and Rued has him captive.
So this is what it comes to, Wolfkist? 2 Danes fighting over a filthy Saxon whoreson? If this swine is your prize, come and get him.
So now that we've seen that Oswald is alive, we have Rued within our sights. What's
That
the next
wolf
step?
is very
So the next move for Eivor is to finally
very healthy.
face off against Rued. She has her allies; they can take care of the rest of the army. Now it's time to go one-on-one against Rued in one of our boss battles.
Continue in this battle in Odyssey, more RPG elements.
And it's worth pointing out actually that here
Yeah, I
what
didn't
we're
play
showing
Origins. Is the
Claire,
one with
going and
Egypt.
facing off against Rued aggressively, but we tend to always have to support a 360.
That's like all the Assassin's Creed games.
So
I think got some
a little
good
bit more stealthy and gotten at least like a good
reviews from
hit
various
on
people
either Rued or his wolf, and so you can play this a little bit
that played it.
strategically
Like, seemed
if
like a lot of the
that's
players
your
really
playstyle.
enjoyed all the Assassin's Creed games.
So we're not only fighting
That's why they
Rued
still
here,
make
but
them.
also his pet wolf, right?
You're one of my preferred
Nobody's ever
strategies is
said,
to
"Oh, they
eliminate the
ruined
wolf first.
Assassin's Creed."
Just focus fire on him. It takes at least one opponent out of the combat. Now Rued will
I think the one where it was like
extra
multiplayer, the one
abilities
that people
come
didn't
into play
like,
if you do eliminate
Brotherhood,
his wolf.
maybe.
But I think having one opponent less in the battlefield
Unity?
makes for a good
Is
strategy.
it Brotherhood or Unity? One of those people didn't like.
For all your efforts, only the cold dark of Niflheim awaits you.
Valhalla is my destiny.
Odyssey is Greece.
Not be met today. Riders, they should be
Yeah, people liked Odyssey.
kissed. Made thralls, not treated as equals.
I like the
You're
Greece,
better than this.
Greece mythology too.
Do not drag me down to the sewage you wallow in.
I should like Egypt mythology too. I should just play those last two games, even though they follow more of the story of the character and not the actual mythology.
Throw in
But
with these wastrels, these arrogant swine. Eivor, no!
He should be tried before God, a lawful assembly.
All right, so we've defeated Rued, we freed Oswald. What comes next?
Oswald in this case prefers for Rued to be kept alive, and so you basically have to choose: are you going to go against his wishes or stay true to your nature?
So we have this choice to make, but before we get into
choices.
that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone. She clearly had to recruit some folks along the way, get some troops, get some allies.
So it said you'll be able to,
let's
like,
actually rewind and see how we went about
talk to
first
your
gathering these
like
troops.
your friends will be able
When coming
to
up
be
to an
in the
assault,
game.
It's a game of numbers. Eivor can go
Like
into
your
pretty much
characters will
any
be able to be in the
location
game?
and be a stealthy Viking, eliminating some of the assets, which ultimately would be a strategy. You can do that, and you'll have some
Fight creatures from the
some of
myths.
the ingredients or of the assets there that
Oh,
will have been
nice.
sabotaged. But you still need a
That's why I
army.
liked God
so
of
here what
War,
we're seeing is Eivor going
because
around the
it was,
countryside and raising
you know,
what
it's
we call
all
Fur,
mythology.
which is the men and the women of the territory who come up and fight
In
the
that other
name of a
game,
king.
Spartan
So
Total
here,
Warrior.
Eivor is going around and trying to convince people to fight in the name of Oswald to finally take down the oppressor that is Rued.
Defending East Anglia, defending you. Will you not do the same?
What? Die in defense of a lost cause?
Yeah, so she's really using like the image and like the leadership that Oswald had, what he meant to the people in his name. She's going to recruit these people.
Pretty words, Dane. But the men of Theovard have their
Pretty
own
words,
battle.
Dane.
So we're told by this Reeve that there are troops, there are allies that he could add to our cause, but first we sort of need to do him a favor. Is that right?
Yeah, so obviously these people have been run down by Rued and the impact he's had on the territory, so I think a lot of these people have sort of lost hope. And so you need to show them
Like 2
that there
hours
is
of
hope.
the
And
amount
so
of
here
length,
Eivor
the
is
longest you can
basically
stream
helping
on
them
here.
take
Says-
back one of their
looking at my
prized
stream, it says 2
locations,
hours and 21 minutes. I
by
haven't been
taking a
streaming for
couple
2 hours
men
yet.
and raiding a nearby
That was the longest. This is going to cut off
township,
the
basically taking it down
DVR,
for the people,
I guess, the video.
showing that there's a reason to continue fighting and then get them on your side.
You can highlight nearby enemies with quest objectives in the series and wealth opportunities. Odin's Sight. I'm about to play Final Fantasy VII R. I have to head to bed and enjoy the rest of the whole show. Thanks for stopping in, man. It's appreciated.
When Eivor
You
does
enjoy
this,
that Final
obviously you
Fantasy
have
VII.
access to a full suite of abilities.
Ready
So,
to
again, the
be
improvements that we've done to the fight
left
system.
on the cliffhanger.
You have some brutal axe
I wonder if
throwing
Squaresoft
in
is going to
there.
have
You
a
archery or
show.
like range combat abilities in there as well. So really, again, like depending on what your playstyle is, you can customize your loadout and go in there how you wish.
What do you think, Idolin? Ready for some Assassin's Creed, or did they show a release date for?
So that is actually what we call the Odin
Watch
Sight. The Odin
Dogs?
Sight is
I don't remember them
basically
seeing a
our
release date for
interpretation
Watch
of
Dogs.
the Eagle Vision from previous games, and we thought it was good to sort of bring that back.
Dang.
It's basically Eivor's intuition. It's how she perceives the world. When player uses that, it'll highlight basically interactive objects.
This
like
new
things that
combat
will
style that they're
bring her
doing, where they like
advantage.
zoom in
We'll
the
have
camera in different
arrows,
angles, is crazy.
Like health consumables that are in there. So it really is like a good way of sort of understanding the world and showing you like things that you can go and touch.
Cool. Loot chest.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of things we can touch, we just
Spinning
picked up this
death.
awesome new weapon.
It's something we wanted to play with on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where we have fewer weapons in the game, but you can invest in them more, so they become your weapon. And so depending what your preferred playstyle is or your preferred weapon type, then you can go and choose, I'm gonna fight with this weapon and invest heavily into that.
Not only are we looting weapons, but we see something here called the Book of Knowledge. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
They unlock skills for the players. So here you can see the Valkyrie dive that has just been unlocked. We have
That's
these
a
spread out throughout the world. So again, to
skill
promote
tree, that's cool.
exploration and discovery. As you travel through the world and you explore locations, you can find these books that will add abilities that you can go and invest in, put into your loadout, then go into the different locations or the different quests in the game and use those depending on what your playstyle is.
Now we've recaptured this village, we've secured more troops for our assault. Let's jump back now and figure out what we want to do with Rued.
Rued will live.
The rightful king of East Anglia has spared your life today, and so it will be.
I got it right.
Compassion is a virtue suited for anyone, Eivor, including you. Thank you.
Eivor decided to let him live. Rued is really angry about that. Being a Norse Viking, being put to the death in battle is your road to Valhalla. So he was basically denied access to
I forgot about that.
situation.
Oof.
Obviously, all of these decisions come into play later on in the game, so we have very difficult decisions for the player to make. We didn't want to have easy
I guess he shouldn't have got captured.
Yeah, you know, when I was playing, I decided to listen to Oswald and spare Rued's life, but what exactly is the relationship like between Eivor and Oswald?
So the relationship between Eivor and Oswald is an alliance. It's basically Eivor is surrounded by territories that initially getting into England are hostile.
His eyes are
her.
crazy.
And obviously, if you want to set up a new settlement,
I like
you
these
want
white
to make sure that your neighbor is
at
friendly.
the bottom of their eyelids. I wonder why
here
that's
in
there.
East Anglia, Oswald is the man for the job, where putting him into a position of power would help her sort of secure her territory. So earlier on to the territory, Eivor comes in here,
White eyeliner.
meets Oswald. The problems he had with Rued are sort of put to light, and going through the arc, you basically help him deal with Rued and aligning basically Danes with Saxons in one territory.
So, Fizz, we've completed the assault, we've gotten our hands dirty with some combat, taken down Rued. We have this big open region of East Anglia, so before we head off to Oswald's wedding, what do you say we head out, have some fun, and see what we can get into in the open world?
That sounds great.
So we see a cat here with a speech bubble above it, and you best believe if you let me talk to a cat, I'm gonna talk to a cat.
Yeah, these are some of our some of my favorite moments actually in the game, where we put out a whole bunch of events throughout the territory. And it sort of rewards, again, exploration, going around. It's a chance for us also to sort of showcase a different side of Eivor. A lot of the quests sort of deal more with like politics and warfare, and this shows a slightly more human nature to her, so it permits us to explore that character a little bit more. And so here, basically, like you're trying to help a kid with his cat, and ultimately get that cat to sort of join
Can you
your
pet the cat
crew,
though?
As
You
a
get the cat to
cat
join?
raider.
You just
Wait,
said
what?
cat raider way too casually.
Wait.
You told me I could have a cat Viking raider on my longship?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh my god, yes, I love it. Perfect.
You can have a cat Viking raider on your longship.
As you're riding around the rivers of England, you would see a cat basically walking around your longship, keeping your Viking raiders company.
You know, speaking of the Viking longship, we're seeing
Can
some
you pet the cat?
gameplay here now. Can you talk a little bit about how that works and functions in Valhalla?
Yeah, so starting out on this project, I think the Viking longship is one of the biggest images that we all have when we think about Vikings in our game. And so Vikings had this awesome design for longship that had a very shallow hull, so it permitted them to go very far inland very quickly, and you could basically disembark Viking raiders like on pretty much any shore. We added that into the game where you can basically sail up to any location and then just decide to disembark with your guys and raid a location, loot all its treasure, get back in the ship, and then continue sailing down the river to your next opportunity.
So I know past Assassin's Creed games allowed for songs and things like that to be sung on ships. Will Valhalla have a similar version of that?
Can we sing songs on the ship?
We actually wanted the crew of your ship to become like your home away from home. So we added stories and songs into the ship. So basically, as the player is going around, you could decide to have your skald sort of sing a song for you as you row down the river. But you can also decide, depending on who the raiders are in your ship, to hear more about their life. So you can actually queue up stories, and they'll give you a little bit more background on who they are. So you get to know your sort of fighters as you're traveling around the world, which is a cool moment.
That's cool.
So here we're seeing bit of a different view. What exactly are we looking at?
We had this on previous Assassins.
Oh, they
where
ran
you
over
would,
the
like,
ducks.
ride on your horse, and you could
The
pull
geese.
out, have the horse sort of follow the track. We have a similar thing for the ship where you can put up your sails. It's cruise control for the ship.
Oh,
so you
nice.
can pull
So
back,
you just kinda,
take in
like, look at the
scenery, listen
scenery.
to some songs or some stories.
That's cool.
And just take it all in.
And I put a lot of work into the
speaking of
background and the
Viking
skybox and
songs,
stuff. You kind of
we
want
have
to see
an
that.
activity here that's not exactly singing, but kind of related, right?
Yeah, so here what we have is what we call flighting, which was an activity that Norse people would partake in. They would like to have a battle of wits and
I like it.
Sort of
I like
poetry,
Assassin's Creed.
where insults would be thrown back and forth between each other. The idea was to try and have a good insult, but also to have a good rhythm and a good rhyme in there. So it's basically a precursor to rap battles.
Precursors to rap battles.
Here's the silver. Now begin.
To all those whom I speak, they say Eivor's a clod.
Oh, dang.
Then you're speaking to fools and their knowledge is flawed.
Well.
Oh,
How exactly do you
dang.
go about being successful in one of these?
The trick behind a good flight was to choose the
Flights.
right insult, identifying the right cadence, and then trying to find what rhymed the best.
I'm known for my might.
Interesting. Interesting. Silent whispers
Interesting.
all claim that you're terribly dense.
Then we've clearly misheard them. My wit is immense.
Then you've clearly misheard them. My wit is immense.
Oh, you
Boom.
looked out with that one.
Boom.
Well, what a surprise. Eivor of the Raven clan is a true talent. I'm shocked.
I'm be going around town. That's all I'm be doing.
Unless it touches
Just
on my flighting, then heed every
Flight.
word.
Flight everybody.
So now that we've proven our sharp tongue and wit, I think it's
Flight
time
and
for a
everything.
bit more relaxing
About to
activity.
get
So we're-
flighted.
we're fishing here.
Yeah, that's it. So we gave Eivor
It's
a
not a
fishing
fishing
line,
rod.
so you can actually throw out a line and go catch some fish. This
Interesting
is
way to
used
fish.
basically
Used to lie. A rope.
play into our new health loop where the player
It's a big
will
fish.
lose health in the world, and it doesn't automatically regenerate like we would have in the past. So you actually have to go out and get some supplies. So you'll
Where'd
find
she put the
mushrooms
fish?
And some food that you can gather. But here, like
Her magic
you
satchel.
can also catch some fish and consume that to regain some health. We also will sometimes have it in certain quests. So it's a good way to sort of chill out.
No matter how
side of
realistic they make a game,
water
you're
and
always
just,
gonna have
again, take it all in.
magic bags.
So this is what we call one of our offering altars. So the idea is that
Those
you find
edited
these around the world.
offering
and
altars.
You make offerings to it. So it'll take like animal parts and stuff that you can find throughout the world. Here what you're seeing though is sort of like a fancy version of it, where as you do your offering you get interrupted by some kids that basically come and steal your stuff. So it's just a way for us to sort of showcase that like the systems and the activities in the world can sort of play in with some quests and some little events. So it's our way
Could
to
be a child.
dress up these moments and make it all fit inside the whole experience.
Yeah, this seemed like a really sort of unexpected turn for what I thought was going to be kind of a simple interaction.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's really what we were trying to do with these events is to give another dimension to Eivor, other than just the pure rar Viking or the politician.
There's
'Cause you
no
can imagine at some
more
point that will grow
anima
old if you're always telling that
thing,
version of
right?
the character. So it
Like that
lets us
story is
really go
over.
into the depth of who is Eivor, what motivates
Where is
her,
it?
how she can interact with the world outside of
When
warfare and politics.
when the first Assassin's Creed came out, I was working at
And it also
GameStop
showcases like a
and
different
had somebody return the game
facet of the
because they didn't
world
like
at the same time. It's not only Eivor.
the
So
religious
it just widens the breadth of the
overtones in
stories
it.
that we can tell.
They didn't like
So
the religious
who exactly
message
are
in the
these two
game.
children?
These are kids of East Anglia. They are
They
going
didn't like
through
that
tough
the
times.
Crusaders,
with whatever Rued's been
the Knights
doing to
Templar
their
were bad.
and so they're just here trying to survive and basically exploit the people that are there to make offerings.
It's kind of a different story than
It
what
was
you would
kind of
normally
nice to
tell.
see that Eivor wasn't really necessarily upset at them for stealing, and after
People.
you talk to them, you have the choice of helping them. You can give them food, give them some money, or maybe just say, "Hey, good luck, on your way."
Yeah, and then this is something we also wanted to do a lot. Like, so here we're doing an event. We do it.
Speaking
in
of
class
hungry,
as
I'm getting
well, but
hungry
we
here,
wanted to
too.
give a lot of
Probably
this
get some,
agency into players' hands so that they
Sonics.
can sort of shape Eivor a little bit. Who she is, so it represents them a little bit more, and they can role play that a little bit better. And again, it just gives her like a little bit more humanity in these moments.
What large walkers should do. Provide for small walkers.
Here, large walker.
A necklace.
Yes, it's a St. Martin seal. You're welcome here anytime, large walker. You're one of us now. Visit us, okay?
All right.
Take care now, small green walkers.
Small green walkers.
So I think AC veterans might recognize this here, but what exactly is Eivor chasing down?
Yeah, so here you're seeing Eivor running down
Leaves.
one of our tattoo images. So this is
Oh.
challenging the player on
Fine
free run
paper.
abilities, but also for fans of the series, sort of pulling at their heartstrings for some beloved features.
This is
So
not a
are
lot
we
of
gonna
free
be able
running
to
here.
tattoo Eivor?
Yes, by collecting these tattoos, you actually bring them to back to your settlement,
Tattoo.
and
He
then you can
said
customize
tattoo.
different body parts, having different tattoos everywhere. So again, another form of expression, and it's sort of to represent that Viking culture.
Fizz, one of my favorite things when I was just out there exploring East Anglia was coming upon a house or a building
Something
and
was blocking the
realizing
door
that
on
there
the
was a chest
inside.
inside, but that there was no easy way in. And in this case, I saw all the doors were barred, but I knew that because there was a chest in there must have been some way to get inside. So I went around the back and,
How'd you
found
know
a
that
way
was there?
Yeah, I'm glad you actually caught on to that. You're pointing at something that we wanted to work on a lot on Valhalla, where we wanted the exploration to make you feel smarter, so we played a lot with puzzle solving, so
Just
making sure
raiding somebody's house.
every house that you find sort of appeals to you, like it draws your attention.
Oh, somebody in there
and when
dead?
you want to come and explore, it's not given to you. You still have to work for it a little bit, so it'll challenge you on your observation skills, logic, just trying to find
You
how do I
died.
get into this.
My
So we
Data's
play a
Raiders.
lot with level design, quest design to offer challenges to players, and
November, huh?
you basically
Long
come
wait.
out of it like with a better feeling for the exploration, but you also get
Ran
to
through
see
grass and berries.
more of a story behind any of these locations, which we've crafted. So it gave us a little bit more time to sort of
Look.
slow down the experience and tell a different version of a story.
A poor victim of someone's fury.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about exploration and just finding things out in the world, I was just wandering and came across this clearing and found this kind of morbid altar.
Yeah, so this is one of our bigger events that we have scattered in the world. So as Eivor explores, she can find altars like this, and by interacting with them, here it's a trap that's been set by this character named Regan. Now, there's a bigger story behind all this. There's multiple
You can find
steps
side
to it
quests.
later
Are they on the map?
So this is one of the moments. It permits us to go into a slightly more mystical realm and play with a boss fight that has more magical abilities, if we will.
Smack, smack, smack.
And basically have this awesome boss fight in the middle of the swamps.
Ooh.
And so here the abilities that you see Reagan using are a little bit on the mystical side of
those
things.
runes.
What's happening is Eivor at the beginning in that trap is poisoned, and so she starts sort of hallucinating, seeing the world in a sort of different light and filter. And so that's sort of what lets
Trying to
us
say it really
go
fast.
into the realm of the weird.
My rage, spirit of my father's rage, fill me!
Ching, 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 ching. It's a very familiar looking rune. That's all I'm saying. Of course, it's a Norse game, so Norse runes.
Arrest your demons.
Oh. The
So we
daughters.
just saw here that Regan belongs
This is
to
one.
something called the Daughters of Lyrion.
Yeah, that's correct. By finding the other daughters, you'll get a little bit more backstory on who they are, so we don't want to spoil that too much.
Hopefully we
But
don't
it
gotta kill
creates
them
like
all.
a sort of greater story that is not
Kinda
on the
rude.
main path in any way, but it's still very rich and adds to the lore of
carry
this
them?
world and actually plays into history.
So we just had a really
I
exciting,
guess we
really
can hide the
intense
bodies.
boss battle. I think it's time for something a little bit more relaxing and calming now.
Yeah, it's all about pacing yourself with the highs and the lows. So here we have a low chill moment of what we call building a cairn. So Eivor, as she explores the world, will find these sort of meditative areas where you have a pile of rocks that you could just stack on top of one another using physics. And I mean, yeah, the ultimate goal is to try and get the highest pile of rocks, but really it's about taking in the sights, relaxing, taking a step back, and just building something.
Together we stack stones into cairns.
These?
Yes. Think of this as a test of mind and wit. Stack the cairn stones high and wide into any shape you like.
I cut it.
You can spend as much time as you want building these things, making them as high as you want, as weird as you want. I'm sure like a lot of these stuff
You
will
can
end
turn
up
them.
on the internet.
You turn it the other way.
Structures. And the cool thing is that once you've built it and you decide to get out of it, it sort of stays there. And so that's yours, right? And until the moment where you come back and you want to build a new one, it's sort of cool that
Got
we're
it.
able to give that to players to express themselves.
At this point in the demo, we've explored East Anglia, we've met some children,
That's
we've
cool.
broken into a house, we fought a boss, we built a cairn. I think
Lots of
now
gameplay.
It's finally time to go and head off to Oswald's wedding.
Yeah, so this
Oswald's
is
getting
the
married?
moment it's all been building up to.
Was it to that one
By
Viking
the
chick
moment
with the
you
dark
get
hair?
into the territory, sort of like mentioned by Oswald, that he's trying to get married with his Dane lady. And so as you go through the arc, that's sort of like the underlying thread. Really, it's about Rued creating turmoil in the territory and helping Oswald sort of get above that and show that he's a good leader. And so you finally, after going through all of that arc, finally get these two together, go through their wedding, and you're invited to attend the ceremony, and then all the activities and fun times that comes afterwards.
Yeah, as much as we've seen the brutal side of England, it's nice to see, you know,
those
the joyous
eyebrows
side
are
as well.
insane. It
Yeah,
is.
and it's something we really wanted to play on in Valhalla, where being a Viking is not only about being a raider or a warrior. I mean, there's revelry, there's feasting, there's partying that goes, and like if someone knows how to party, it's a Viking. And so here, this is one of our opportunities to sort of show what a
Drink
sort of
faster than
Viking
your opponent.
gathering is. And what's cool here is it's a good alliance of Norse culture with Saxon culture, sort of smashing those two things together, and building bridges.
Yeah, I mean, what's a wedding without some drunk archery, right?
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, so like anything can happen
Drunk
in
archery.
a Viking event, right? Eivor, yeah, here, you just get drunk, shoot some arrows.
Barely a challenge.
Steady all, and ready yourself for the wedding race.
The wedding
and his
race.
Pride against all.
My king. He.
Oh no.
So here we see
Rued.
the decision I made to spare Rued came back to bite us.
Yep, that's the decision you made, coming back. So as we said before, all of your decisions have consequences, and this is a big one.
Is he gonna die? Is it gonna be everybody's gonna pick kill Rued?
I accept.
You're basically presented with the option to sort of step in for
course.
Oswald, fight the fight for him, or let him go and fight his own fight.
Yeah, you know, personally, I chose to fight myself because I thought Eivor is the type of person who likes to finish what she started.
Plank by plank, and a dead king cannot keep his oaths. Let me finish this.
Oswald, you gutless Arya swine! I'll slay the wolf-kissed, then hang you with your own tongue.
But if Oswald would have won.
How does this encounter with Rued differ from our previous fight with him?
So at this point, you've eliminated his wolf, so it's just him, and so he's angry at this point, and so he will start using his big gun abilities like fairly earlier on in the fight. So it's way more vicious, way faster. There's less strategy. He goes literally swords blazing at you. And so this is a fight to the death.
I mean, the fight to the death before.
And of course here, like, this is a decision you made to go and fight him, but there's multiple outcomes to this scenario. You could have let Oswald fight his own fight, and prove basically his station as the rightful leader. If you had eliminated Rued, obviously this would not have happened. It would have been a slightly more joyous occasion. But ultimately, in all scenarios, you still have an alliance with Oswald. He's proven to be the
No matter what happens, he's still with alliance. He kind of told you that. Should have told you that. He says the first 30 minutes of the game, I guess.
And one day I will need you to make good on that alliance.
So we're about to take off from the wedding, but Eivor decides it's a good idea to check up on her friend Finner.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna let
Finner is
Oswald fight his own
probably one of
battles.
the more recurring characters in this arc. You get to meet him very early on. He's a very endearing character, sort of used to have a Viking life, sort of misses it, and going through all these adventures together is sort of like lights that fire back, and so he's willing to join you in your raiders. So he's one of many raiders that you'll encounter in the game, and you can sort of
Let's just talk more of the
recruit, bring
multiplayer
back home,
aspect.
and then have them sort of join you on your adventures on Longship. He can tell you these stories that we're telling you about. You get a little bit to know a little bit more about him. So again, it's a fun way to sort of discover more about these characters that you meet and bring them along for adventures.
Together.
Together.
I'll gather my
Gather.
things.
Well, folks, we've come to the end of our Assassin's Creed Valhalla playthrough.
Is there any more?
Fizz,
Is this it?
thank you so much for joining us. When
That's
and where
good.
can people play it?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be out on
she's-
Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5.
Holy
It is
crap.
coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Stadia on November 17th.
So it comes out before November 17th. Up next, Hyperspace. I wish I could find the thing that was showing. Ow, I broke my leg.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. My name is Eric Pope. I'm the senior community developer on Hyperscape.
And I'm Graham Jennings. I'm the senior producer on
Ubisoft.
Hyperscape's now in its open beta phase,
Board
so you can go
schedule.
through play and download it directly.
Schedule.
So a little while back, we recorded a match for you so we could walk through it moment to moment, explain what's going on throughout a match of Hyperscape. There's a lot going on with hacks, guns, the gameplay. So Graham and I are going to walk you
So
through
it's
it
supposed
right
to be
now,
like-
and I hope you'll enjoy it.
They had like an actual schedule they were showing.
So at the start now, you'll see the insertion phase. There's the 3 of them in the squad, so they're trying to decide on where they want to go. It looks like Helios, which is one of the landmarks, is going to be one of the choices.
So all the places we're seeing on the map right now with like a name above it, that tends to be a higher loot area, would you say?
For one of the big yellow letter ones like this one, this
So I
is
can
one of
find
the
it.
landmarks. Landmarks tend to have higher density and higher quality loot overall.
Which also means most people will be
Actually,
going there.
do not care about.
Usually have a few more friends if you go to a landmark. So in this case though, he's gone outside and he's found a supply crate. So he's starting to loot these instead. So he's looking for both hacks and weapons within them.
They probably
Right, so the
show
looting phase,
some of the other games, but not show the other.
familiar
Not
with,
show what
but
they didn't show.
Hyperscape, you do have those supply crates that you may be lucky enough to find. And
Full show.
What's the deal with supply crates?
So supply crates are placed around the world, so you'll hear them and then you can go and find them, and then inside them you'll find weapons and hacks. Usually you find slightly better
Alright, guys.
weapons and hacks within them.
I'm going to end it
now
here.
we've switched, so we're looking at Chimera instead. So he's
Thank
in
you guys
the
for
landmark,
watching.
he's in Helios now.
I need to go
He's
find
still in
something
the
to
looting
eat.
phase. But as you can see from the
Starving
red
right
triangle up
now.
there, there's actually some friends or not
Hyperscape
friends
is
with
not
him.
what I'm gonna go check out.
Yeah, so the action gets
And
started. Okay, right.
not to really care too much for the
Yeah, so he's one-on-one. He's
the
going
live
with
game.
Mammoth shotgun against someone who's using the heal hack at the
the
minute.
post the
red
post
dot
stream.
that you can see. So that player's taking extra health.
Which looks like it helped him.
Looks like this is all they're gonna talk about here. So
And I believe it helped him survive at that point. There seems to be a few other players in here just now, so the combat
So that's
started
it.
and eliminations got his first kill.
till next time, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll talk to you guys later.
So,
I have a couple of
he's
discussion
just been
videos coming up.
eliminated, Actually.
Yeah.
So he just he's been eliminated. And
We're gonna have a couple of discussion videos coming up that I thought of, and yeah, that's it. So the next event is Tuesday. Next Tuesday. This Tuesday. Stadia event. All right, guys.
watching a camera with someone else. You're still playing. You can inform your squad as to what's going on, and then you can call to be restored at one of those points. There's plenty of people like.